India talk with number one India news every Sunday at 6 p.m. on number one India news.
Hello viewers, I am Jaidev Patel and you are watching number one India news. Welcome once again India talk with number one India news. We have a special guest with us today, founder of KCC Group and economic affairs expert, Mr. Sharad Kohli. Mr. Sharad Kohli, very welcome to our program today.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, Mr. Sharad Kohli, my first question to you is that how much truth is there in the UNDP report's claim that the poor in India are getting poorer and the rich are getting richer?
Well, after COVID particularly, there has been a bit of a K-shaped recovery. In economics, there is a term called K-shaped recovery. You make K. So some of the people actually have become richer, whereas some of the people have got poorer. And a very classic example of this is the Garib Kalyan Yojana, which we are running right now, where 80 crore people are being fed with food grains every month, 5 kilo food grains to every single person. There are 80 crore of them, and recently Prime Minister announced that this is going to go on for the next 5 years, which means we are indirectly accepting the fact that there are about 80 crore people who still need food. Yani ki if I say it in Hindi, that was the statement made. So yes, there has been unequal income and wealth distribution. This problem, although I would say this problem has been there across the world. It is not that across the world everybody has got the same status in the society vis-a-vis their financials, vis-a-vis their economic status. But in India particularly, see, this is a classic case of an emerging economy where some people are able to do very well. And some people are not able to do well to the extent that they are not able to even garner both meals for them, which in other words we say they are not able to meet both their ends. Yes, this problem is there in India, and I think the government of India is very conscious of this problem, and there is a concentration of wealth. A major part of the wealth is indeed owned by very small percentage of people in India.
Mr. Sharad Kohli, it has also been said in the reports of UNDP that India has been included in the top 10 countries where the income of the people has increased but the income of all the sections has not increased equal. What is the reason behind this?
Well, the report is to a larger extent correct because the income of India has increased because India at this moment is the fastest developing large economy. I mean, we are developing at the rate of 7% or over 7%. Different agencies have given different rates. So we are indeed progressing at a very rapid pace in a time when the world economic growth is hardly 3%, not even 3%. It is between 2.5 and 3%, realistically speaking. So India growing at 7%, which means we are growing more than double the rest of the world, which is very good. But this is true that the benefits of the growth, the fruits of growth, are not being eaten by the entire country. We are a country of 1.42 billion people. We are now the largest populated country. We have overtaken China as per some reports. We have overtaken China. So all the people here are not prosperous. Or if I put it in different terms, the prosperity which this growth has brought to the country, all the citizens of the country have not been able to avail the benefits of that growth. Now, here are the reasons. The first reason is difference of educational opportunities. If you see people who are in the larger towns, Delhi, Mumbai, Bengaluru, Hyderabad, Chennai, Kolkata, some of the tier 2 cities also, there the level of education, especially private education, is different. Whereas, when you move from India to Bharat, although Bharat now is a different debate also. But I say when you move from the town, 25 to 30 kilometers away from the town, when you enter the rural belt of the country, you will find that the educational facilities being given to the children, to the people, shall I say, because people who have grown up, they have studied in same government schools, studied in a school which is made out in a hut or in a two-room building. So educational facilities, so that lack of educational facility robs those people of the opportunities. Now, when an interview in a company happens and there is a student who has come from village, there is another student who has come from, let's say, a DPS or a modern school in the town. Obviously, you will find the profile, the way they carry themselves, the way they present themselves, and the knowledge also.
Yeah.
There is a lot of difference. So obviously, the opportunities get taken away by the people who got access to very good education. So education is the first reason. Skill development is the second reason. Skill development facilities in the larger towns where most of the wealth is concentrated are far more than the rural part of India. Still, we should not forget that 60 to 70% of the country still lives in villages. So I'm sure everybody has gone to a village. I mean, I go to village very often.
Yeah.
Why do you say this is village life? Which means it is totally different from the town life. There are a lot of good things in the village life also. But from a financial perspective, from an economic perspective, why does a farmer's son today say to his family, his son, "Ja beta, शहर में जा और अपनी जिंदगी बना, यहाँ तेरे लिए कुछ नहीं रखा." You know, these kind of dialogues speak of the fact that the opportunities available to a farmer's son are not the same as that in so skill education, skill development. Then I would say the inheritance which the people have. Now, a rich man's son, a son born or a child born in Mr. Ambani's family, the moment a child is born, probably thousands of crores of shares by default because of the structure of the family, they come in the name. Now, poor child who's born in a hut, he will not get the same opportunity. So I think there is a saying in Hindi which says, "Maya ko maya mile, kar kar lambe haath." What does this mean? That when you have wealth, wealth attracts more wealth.
Yeah.
And when you don't have wealth, somebody who's on a job of 10 to 15,000 rupees, how much this person will be able to save? So the fourth reason is that the savings of most people in the country are not enough to enable them to make investment and grow their wealth. How does the wealth grow? Either you earn from a business, you get a very big fat salary, or you are able to multiply your money by way of investing in stock markets, investing in a startup, investing in a mutual fund, investing in a very high return investment. They do not have any savings. If I've got 5,000 rupees, how much my 5,000 rupees will become? But if I have 5 crore rupees, I can probably make it grow up to 50 crores. So I think there is a lot of financial mechanics hidden behind this. So education, skill development, employment opportunities, inheritance of wealth, the quantum of wealth which the family has. These are some of the reasons why the poor, they remain poor, and the rich, they keep becoming richer.
Yeah. Mr. Sharad Kohli, India has become a high income country, but the matter of concern is that of the country's wealth is but 10% of the people income has not increased equally for all sections. How to is it?
Well, I think the reasons which I just spoke of, when I said Maya ko Maya mile, which means that people who are rich by family, in most of the cases you will find that their children are able to grow. There are of course cases of wealthy families where the children, they drain out the wealth. We must have heard कि इसने सब लुटा दिया अपना, जो कमाया था सब बर्बाद कर दिया. But those cases are few. Most of the cases, the wealth multiplies. Wealth, even if it is lying like this, it will keep growing on its own because it would have been invested somewhere where it is getting a very handsome return. If I have got 50, I give you an example. If I have 50 lakh rupees, for example, there is something in stock market. Don't go to stock market directly. There is something called portfolio management. The portfolio management, minimum amount you need is 50 lakh. Suppose you invest 50 lakh and the stock market, the Indian stock market, let's say in the last 4-5 years, they have been doing very well. My 50 lakh suddenly becomes 1 crore in 1 year. Now, to be able to invest in a portfolio management scheme, the minimum you need is 50 lakh. Now, from where will a poor family who earn 25,000 rupees, 20,000 rupees will be able to afford to invest 50 lakh? So, I think when we say wealth is concentrated with the rich people, is because when we add up the net worth of these people, when you add up the net worth of the properties they own, the vehicles they own, the shares they own, very important thing, because shares is what makes you, most of the richest people in the world, they are rich because the shareholding is very, very high. Today, Mr. Mukesh Ambani is the richest person in the country. Most of his wealth, he's got a fleet of cars. He lives in all the Altamount Road, in that Antira building which is 27 stories. Well, that is worth a few thousand crores. Most of his wealth, if he's worth 8 lakh crores, it is because the shares that he holds in his companies, they comprise of wealth. So, which is why you find that some of the richest families in all countries, they will own most of the wealth. But in India, because India is an emerging economy, India is a developing economy. So in India, what happens is that people who start business and then the business becomes successful.
Yeah.
You know, your value of shares, the value of the net worth of your company keeps increasing. That is what makes you richer. Now, I'll give you a very interesting piece of data.
Yeah.
If I tell you that in India, only 10% of people, this is very important, only 10% of people in India, which is if we have population of 1.42 billion people, 142 crore,
Yeah.
only 14 crore 20 lakh people in India earn income of more than 25,000 rupees per month. I'm making a very, very interesting revelation today. A new one in India.
Yeah.
Income. Now you tell me, if somebody who earns 25,000 rupees, how will he save money? How will he invest money? How will he form his company? Exceptions. There are exceptions. Exceptions are always there. You hear of rags to riches stories, but those are only exceptions. That is not universally a truth. So therefore, the poor, they get lagged behind, whereas the moment you have crore, 2 crore.
Mr. Sharad Kohli, my closing question to you is that do we have to give priority to investment in human development to overcome the country's current challenges?
Women development is a very important aspect. I'll give you very interesting data once again.
Yeah.
23% of the women in India, listen to this, 23%, so if half of our population is women, which is if we are 142 crores, we have around more than 70 crore women in the country. Let's say 70 crore for example. Only 23% of these women participate in economic activity. What does this mean? The rest of them are homemakers, or they are little girls who go to school, or they are old ladies in old age homes and so on and so forth. So if we include more and more women in the economic activity, I think the country's progress will jump. It will catapult to the next level, because if these women can become part of, yes, focusing on women development, focusing on women's skill, focusing on inclusive growth for women, or encouraging women to start earning. You go to a village, ask a woman, "Hey, Amma ji, aap kuch kamate hain?" So she will say, "नहीं बेटा, हमें क्या जरूरत है कमाने की? हमारे तो बेटे हैं, वो कमाते हैं." That is the standard answer. Or you go to a homemaker in the village, she will say, "तुमको तुम्हारे को कुछ भी काम नहीं किया." So I think the mindset has to be changed. If we focus on women development, however, I would like to put on record, yes, in the last 2 decades, there has been a lot of change. The number of women that we see in a company.
Sir,
For
actually,
example, it is now mandatory for a listed company in India to have a woman on board of directors.
Yeah.
So therefore, such kind of initiatives will bring women to the forefront. So if women are included, I think we can remove the disparity, because it will increase the overall family income. You will have one more family member who's earning. So therefore, the savings will be more. As I said, if the savings are more, there are chances of your becoming rich. The only way you can become rich, generally speaking, is by having more and more savings out of whatever income you earn in a month.
Yeah. Mr. Sharad Kohli, thank you so much for taking out time from number India News.
Thank you so much.